Dude, not as exciting as this. I'll tell you that right now. But
Lisa, thank you so much for joining me. I know you have spent this entire season kind of fangirling over everyone else. So I'm very excited to get to fangirl over you. Because I'm going to say this now, I loved you. Like, I've become a Lisa stan. So thank you so much for taking the time to do this interview. First things first, I just want to ask, how are you doing after the episode and everything?
I'm doing super awesome. Yeah,
Great.
I'm good and fun.
I love that. So I've got so many questions to ask you about this season. The first one I want to ask you though is, I've asked this for everyone. What was your reaction like to getting this call to say, hey, we're doing AU versus the world and we want you to be a part of it? What was that feeling like and what made you kind of say yes to it?
It was like the most excited feeling in the whole world. I definitely cried at points. And I know you wouldn't be able to tell this from the show, but I'm honestly not a big crier in my day-to-day life. Like, I'm just not. I don't. Like, I'm pretty good at, sort of managing my emotions, but it was a lot. I was very excited. And what was the other part of the question?
What made you say yes?
Oh, what made me say yes? Well, even because I love Survivor. I don't know if they featured this in the show at all, but I really love Survivor, and I think it's an amazing game. And my experience on Survivor New Zealand was so like wholesome, and it's playing Survivor is like a really great opportunity, and you can't do it any other way apart from the someone who's spending millions to make Survivor says, oh, we want you to go on it. So you've got really no agency. Like, I play Blood on the Clock Tower. I do stuff like that. So I do a lot of social strategy stuff just on my own, but being able to actually play Survivor is it's like a golden ticket. So of course I would like cry and say yes. Like, who wouldn't?
I was going to say, you didn't get just one golden ticket, you got two golden tickets to do two experiences. So, I mean, jealous. I want to talk about the start of the game because what was it like seeing the tribe that you were on? And I think you know where I'm going with this. We saw that beautiful moment between you and Cirie in the very first episode, and like you kind of revealing your love as like we all would as a super fan. Tell me about that moment because like all of us were living through you at that time.
So as soon as I knew Cirie was there, I was like, okay, fuck, like this is really she's the one person in the world that I just knew I wasn't going to be able to just, manage. So I was like, okay, how am I going to do it? And I bet she gets people saying to her all the time, like, I mean, it's Survivor, right? So at the start of Survivor, everyone's like, oh yeah, final three, let's go. I'm with you. Like, oh, I really like you. Oh, you seem really cool. Let's get together. And so I was like, I really need to make it clear because it's going to seem disingenuous if I'm just like some random person just being like, look, I'll never vote for you. We're friends for, like we're in it together. Like it would be so I just said, I've just got to be like brutally honest. And I was already like sort of overwhelmed and nervous. So it was sort of obvious that I was, affected by being out there. So it was very believable that I'm just like a big fan. And so I was just like, okay, the very first time I talked to her, basically, I think I'm just going to have to say, hey, this is really me, and I will just, I'll never go against you. Like, I'm with you, and just get it out. And I think it was good that I did that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you made it clear to Cirie, like on day dot, here is me, this I'm with you, and it was beautiful. We also saw you connect with the international trio, which was obviously yourself, Cass, and Tommy. What drew you to them two?
We were all so excited to be there. Like, we all loved Survivor. We all had made it very far in our games. We were all just like super cool, nice, respectable people who just had like a heap of shared values. And yeah, it wasn't like, it almost wasn't like a question. And then Rob was like, internationals, the four internationals for life, like, let's go. And so then we sort of got like pulled together in that way as well, which sort of his like sort of strong arming fast forwarded a process, I think, that would have naturally happened, but maybe wouldn't have been as strong. And then when the three of us went against him, that, you know, solidified it even more.
Yeah, and we saw this international trio be such a strong group and a kind of alliance in the game. We saw that kind of just before merge, with obviously you and Cass wanting to keep Tommy and go for Tony. Do you feel like that's where you really had your most kind of power? Because we really did see you and Cass able to kind of get things your way, essentially.
Yes, although, you know, there's so much that doesn't get on the show, right? So anytime you're analyzing Survivor, you're really working with imperfect information, and there's no way around that. So it was, you know, yes, we did want to keep Tommy, and we did. But there's just obviously a lot, there's so much more, you know, there's so much more. I mean, I don't really know how anyone ever podcasts about Survivor or whatever, because I'm such a bad podcast guest now, because I'm always just like, well, who really knows? I'm sure that person had a good reason for doing that thing. Oh, they probably had a chat, but they just couldn't show. That person already probably said they wouldn't. Like, yes, there's a million strategies you can do, but sometimes, a lot of the time, it really does get funneled towards like just one thing that's just going to happen regardless, for things that you can't really put into, you can't condense down into an easily tellable story.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you've beautifully explained that as well to viewers, because I think as podcasters, we're always like that. I do just have to ask a very fun question. Did you ever imagine in your time playing Survivor that you would be holding on to Tony's legs trying to get a ladle out of a well?
No. Other people, like, you know, I can see it happening with so many different people, but Tony was never one of the ones that I thought he's going to be the guy that I'm like lowering into the well. Yeah, that was such a strange thing to happen. Lots of people have asked me, they're like, did you do that on purpose? Like, because obviously I'm trying to keep him away from camp. So he put the ladle in a bit of a silly place. Like, I knew it was going to fall in, and normally I would have moved it, but I was like, well, we're meant to be taking a bunch of time here, so let's just see what happens. And then it fell in, and then I was like, okay, let's think of a way that we can get the ladle out, but we don't want to touch the water because that's everyone's drinking water. Maybe we should like make some sort of mechanism. And then he's just like, dive. It's like, okay, well, I mean, this is also going to take up time, so I'll just give him a hand here. Something about that episode, which is I find interesting, maybe you won't. When Cirie comes up to me and tells me that they've got the box and they need to get rid of Tony, and I'm talking like, oh, wow. Like, the reason why I'm talking like that is because Tony was like 5 meters away. And I don't know why they didn't put that in, but it's because I'm trying to act like Cirie's talking out of the side of her mouth, like Parvati says she does. And I'm trying to act like we're having a conversation about anything else apart from this huge secret we're trying to keep from Tony. So yeah, people are like, you seem really excited about that. I'm like, no, well, I was, but I was trying to act like it was a conversation about going on holiday or something, not a conversation about like a game-breaking strategy or a game-breaking, you know, a reward.
Honestly, I needed to know that, because I remember that scene so vividly, and to be fair, that scene made me fall in love with you. So I was like, I'm here for it. So any context, I'm gonna kind of go.
It was actually strategy. It was strategy.
I'm here for the strategy. I want to kind of pivot towards kind of the back end of the game, where what we saw, obviously, the final 8 tribal, where things just went off the rails, with Luke and Janine going right at you. What was that moment like? Because it really did seem like everything was pointing towards Lisa. So how did you feel in that moment, and what was kind of your strategy to kind of survive?
Yeah, it was really overwhelming, obviously. Just for me personally, just because of different things that have happened in my life, I don't go very well with guys shouting at me. So that's like, you know, like I'm pretty good at game stuff, but obviously I'm just like a person who has their own stuff. Yeah, it was really difficult. There were so many like levels of like lies and like, yeah, so many levels of like lies and alliances and not wanting people to think. So it's like, if you go and talk to that person, this person's going to think this. If you do, so yeah, it's like I would say borderline the most overwhelmed I've ever felt in my whole life. And there was just, they can't, everything doesn't get in the show. And so there was a whole bunch of other stuff which just combined to make it a really, upsetting, bad time.
Well, I just want to say I think you handled it with absolute grace and class. So bravo to you for that.
Did
Like
it?
I truly no, I truly
Did
do think
not.
you did.
I did not. I was like a deer in headlights. Like it was so much. The one thing I will say is I thought with all that heat coming on me, surely they're not actually going for me. But then, yeah, then Cass played her idol. I wasn't expecting her to play it on me, and it was just like, oh, it was too like. I think it's fine to say like it was a lot for me. Like it was too much for me in that moment. Like I've done a lot of super awesome stuff on Survivor, and I've kept my nerve in a lot of times, but that whole circumstance was too much. Like, fuck, it was a lot.
And that's completely valid. And I mean, that's what makes Survivor Survivor. Like,
Yeah.
these human moments.
Mm.
Obviously, once Cass and Tommy were gone, it was very clear you were kind of on the bottom. And we saw this really lovely moment in the final episode in your final episode, where you said, I just want to make sure I help Cirie. What was the strategy behind that?
Yeah, well, I I think there's like this. I think if you can try and win Survivor, you should try and win Survivor. Okay. But if you get to a point where you can't win, you should try and help the people you want to win. And who doesn't want Cirie to win Survivor? Everyone wants that.
Yeah, that's very true. Obviously, we did see you go, and we saw your torch get snuffed, which was one of your bucket list moments. So my second to last question to you is: you had a lot of bucket list moments this season. What was your kind of favorite moment?
It's really hard because there was so much fun stuff. I think solidifying the Pinky Alliance, the alliance of me, Tommy, and Cass, that was really good. Yeah, we did that so much, and like just in the game to be able to have people that you could just like do a signal and that you're good was really good. Meeting JLP, yeah, just heaps.
It was all bucket list. It was all bucket list.
Oh,
I just want my final question to you, Lisa, is you played such like your authentic self, and you played as a genuine super fan, which I think a lot of us resonated with. So I just want to ask, what's your advice to people going out and playing, like especially the super fans who will probably be like you and see people and they'll be like they will have the exact same reactions. So what would your advice be to those people?
oh, well, I think everyone probably only has a very small amount of people they would be like that with, so, hey, what's my advice? Well, my advice to super fans who want to play Survivor is the same as my advice to everyone who wants to play Survivor. You have to get your internal ducks in a row first. You have to know why you're going on the show and what you get out of it. And if even some part of you is thinking, oh, yeah, when I go on TV, everyone's going to think I'm amazing. Oh, when I go on TV, it's finally going to prove that I'm someone. Oh, when I go on TV and when I win, it's going to mean I'm like a good person. That stuff's so dangerous. Like your worth as a person is not up for debate. Nothing you do on TV can affect it. Like you just have to know what you value personally and go in knowing what you want to get out of it. And then that's something you can control to an extent. Whereas what you can't control is what production does, what the format of the show is, what other random people are there for, stuff they do and say, what people online think you did or didn't do. Like, and it's just like it's such a pity if people let all that other stuff affect them. Like going on Survivor is a strategy to meet a need in your life. and just be clear on what that is, because otherwise it won't be a good experience for you.
Thank you for that. Like that last little bit, really, yeah, I love that struck there. Lisa, thank you so much for taking this time to talk with me. And I hope that you enjoyed this season and continue to enjoy the season. And just well done on your game. It was such a joy to watch.
Thank you. It was so nice to meet you.